Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Neal Mundy, Paramount Investigations. Hey, listen, I wanted to shoot this quick video today and get it up on all the social media platforms pretty quick because that was some of the questions and feedback that I got yesterday off of our first episode. So, the questions I was getting were how does one become a PI? And in our state here in Texas, I know, in order to become a private investigator, you got to meet in a certain criteria. So it can be a couple ways. It can be you have college education and some course study and some hours in the investigative capacity where it's recognized as enough hours to meet the requirement for the investigations field, or you have work related experience, meaning from like law enforcement, loss prevention, something like that, where those hours are enough to meet the state's requirements. And then from there, what you do is you apply for your Texas PI license. You go up to Texas DPS, and from there, you'll go under the Bureau of Security Investigative Service, or correction, I'm sorry, I'm getting those mixed up. That's the state of California. What you do is you go up to the Texas Department of Public Safety, and then under the Private Security Bureau, there's a section called TOPS, and TOPS is the third-party organizer, if you will, that conducts like all the paperwork and all the licensing for the state of Texas. It's an application that you put everything through, and then once the state reviews it and approves it, that's where all your information is given back and forth from, is from TOPS. So in Texas, that's how you become a PI. And you can also be what's called a registrant and sponsored by a private investigations agency in the state of Texas. So basically what that means is you're kind of like an employee, if you will. Some PI agencies regulate their registrants as a W-2 employee, which means you're going to get paid a flat hourly rate. It might come with benefits, it might not. It might have all those perks, or it might not. Or you can be a registrant contractor where the agency holds your license, but you take care of all your taxes. You 1099 yourself and they do at the end of the year, and there's no benefits, none of that sort of thing. And the pay structure and all that's all determined on, between you and the agency you're working for. So I can't speak from that perspective of, how a PI agency is going to pay you. We'll talk about that in maybe another episode about, how much should a PI make and things like that. So, or what's starting wages for a PI. We'll go into that later in detail in another episode, but those are basically Texas's requirements. And if I've missed something, or I'm misinformed, by putting information out there incorrectly, please let me know. I'll correct it. We'll put it in the comments. Obviously, I'm not saying don't take my word for it that I'm not an expert in my industry, but it's been a few years since I took, the exam, and it's also been a few years since I've really read up, on all of the law, other than the changing laws that change, yearly or every couple of years that we have to stay up to date on, and doing our basic, required college credits that we have to get, or an experience every couple of years to keep our license up to date. So it's a big friggin' manual of all the laws. So, I don't know all of them or remember all of it, but I know that, the basics. So that's basically for Texas. For California, California is regulated by a company, or correction, by a state agency called the BSIS, the Bureau of Security Investigative Services. They're kind of the same principle. Got to have work experience, got to have so many hours, I know I just said it a second ago, work experience working for other agencies, and then them signing authorization letters or whatever, signing off on your hours, and then you can start the process applying for your license. So and that's how you do it there. Now, California doesn't have registrants, so you're just you can work for that private investigations firm, and you're either contracted employee, however you want. But in Texas, we regulate it by either you're a registrant or you're an agency holder, things like that. And some of the laws changed here in Texas just back in September in regards to agencies having a qualified manager, shareholder, stakeholders, and all that. Those are still all necessary for a company. The way the law changed was now qualified managers don't need to have a PI pocket card. So we also have in Texas what's called a PI pocket card, and it basically looks like our driver's license, but it says, private investigator on it. And then on the back, it has like what you are, like a qualified manager, a stakeholder, the president, the CEO, owner, whatever of your business. So that's how you become a private investigator, at least in Texas and in California. As for your other states, I don't have all that information. So the best thing I can say is go out and Google it, and usually start at your state resources, and that's where you'll find all your information. Just find out, Google how does the state of Wyoming regulate private investigators, and then from there you should start seeing links on where to go to get the information you're looking for. So that's what I wanted to touch base on episode 2 for today, is how to become a PI. At least in Texas, that's how you do it. In California, that's how you become a PI. And also, I wanted to touch a little bit on, once you get your license and maintain your license, your insurance, all of that fun stuff that comes along with having your agency license. I wanted to stress on the advertisement side of your business, and we'll get into that also in another future episode about marketing. But I've seen a lot of PIs in Texas, when they're in the waiting process trying to get their agency license, they're already starting to market, and that is a big no-no. You can get in big trouble for that from the PSB here in Texas, the Private Security Board. You don't want to do that. So I need to stress that in our industry, when you're becoming a PI, you cannot start marketing until you have that agency license in hand. You can get all your material ready to go, and then at the last second, you're popping in your agency license number in that material, and then you can go to print and then start getting it out. After you get the agency license, don't do it before. So I wanted to stress on that. Also, I think we'll wrap it up here at this point. And remember, you can check me out on my Facebook page at Paramount Investigations, LLC. You can also find us now on Twitter. We are TX Paramount on Twitter. We also have an Instagram account. We are TX Paramount at Instagram. Facebook, Paramount Investigations. Website, www.txparamount.com. And you can also find us on YouTube at Paramount Investigations, LLC. So I will try to always get my information and content cross-referenced with each of these sites, the social media sites. And again, thanks for tuning in. And I look forward to hearing from everybody and all your comments. And if you need to get a hold of me personally, you can email me at nmundy@txparamount.com, or you can call me at 888-447-3274 or 1-888-HIRE-A-PI. And then for my local clients in this area in Texas, you can call us at 512-337-2903. And yes, I'm looking off to the side because I don't remember all my numbers quite yet, but I'll get there eventually. So thanks, folks, for tuning in. Be safe out there when you're on surveillance. Make wise judgment decisions while you're out there, and don't get yourself into a position where your integrity is going to be justified in court. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon, or see you on the next video.